The S197 platform truly introduced a new era of power and performance with the 3-valve GT and the 4-valve supercharged GT500 engines. The one thing was sadly lacking: adequate fuel delivery for anything that's been modified. For people that are trying to get over 500 horsepower, they're forced to cobble together a band-aid solution, or even worse, resort to the hacking and cutting of the OEM tank. Today on Stang TV, we're going to introduce you to an innovative new product from Aeromotive, the Stealth Fuel Delivery System for the 2005 through 2009 Mustang. It solves all your problems with a bolt-on solution, and get this, it can handle an amazing 1400 horsepower. Our friends at Aeromotive have just released the long-awaited Mustang Stealth Fuel System. It's a single-pump fuel system that drops right into your tank. It utilises your stock factory fuel level sending unit, your lock rings and your O-rings. But best of all, the most innovative part, it uses quick-release fittings to connect to your siphon system in the tank. Now, unlike the returnless factory system, the Aeromotive Stealth features a true return-style system plumbed in, so you can support big power. It's one pump, not two or three, and the pump module is offered in both A1000 or Eliminator fuel pumps depending on your horsepower level. The kit includes fittings, Y-block, regulator and fuel filters. Additional options also include Teflon AN line and billet fuel rails, so you can completely outfit your Mustang from head to toe in Aeromotive. Now, it just so happens that a shop that we like to work with regularly, ST Motorsports, just happened to have an S197 on hand that appeared to be the perfect candidate.
That perfect candidate is this 2005 Ford Mustang GT with a mildly built 4.6 litre V8 topped with a 2.8 Kenny-Bell supercharger with baseline dyno numbers on the stock fuel system of 514 new horsepower.
There are really three main steps to installing the Aeromotive Stealth system. First, installing the new fuel pump. Second, running the feed and return fuel lines. Third, install the new Aeromotive fuel rails, regulator and Y-block. Once you're finished, you'll of course need to retune your engine to take advantage of the increased fuel and performance potential. After removing the rear seat cushion, we disconnected the negative battery terminals so we could safely disconnect the stock tank. Next, you need to loosen up the stock fuel pump lock ring with a plastic or brass drift. Don't use a metal hammer. You really don't want any sparks to ignite the remaining fuel in your tank. After removing the fuel pump, you'll transfer your crossover tube and fuel level sensor on your workbench over to the Aeromotive Stealth pump before installation. Installing the pump was simple, and after locking in the new pump back in place, we began working on our fuel system. With Aeromotive's fuel pump module comes the option for a complete line kit. This will convert the feed and return line into -8 stainless braided line and will include all the fittings you need to complete the loop. Another option is Aeromotive's billet fuel rails, which we'll be using here as well. All right, Adam, so we've got the fuel lines run through. What remains to be done?
Well, we've got the Y-block mounted over here on the left shock tower, and we just have to mount the fuel pressure regulator on the right shock tower. That way it's easy to get to it to set fuel pressure. The purpose of the Y-block is to feed an equal amount of fuel to the fuel rails. The purpose of the regulator is to control the fuel pressure. One of the nice things about the Aeromotive regulator, it's a rising rate regulator, so we can either A, use it as a static regulator, or we could use a boost reference and actually make the fuel pressure rise with boost.
All right, well, while Adam buttons that up, I'm going to go and get the dyno ready so we can test this beautiful Kenny-Bell supercharged Mustang. When it comes to tuning, where do we start?
One of the things we're going to do is we're going to go into the returnless fuel settings, and we're going to set all the multipliers to 1. And what this is going to do is going to prevent the car from trying to compensate for fuel pressure. That's what the fuel pressure regulator is for.
All right, well, let's get the tune finished and get this thing running on the dyno.
Now that we've got the air-fuel ratio squared away on the current setup, the guys at ST Motorsports are going to install a smaller blower pulley that should add around 5 psi of boost.
After 2 runs with the smaller pulley, our supercharged 4.6 litre Mustang was able to pick up a ton of power, making 715 horsepower and 635 foot-pounds of torque. With 11.8 to 11.7 air-fuel ratio and plenty of fuel system capacity, Adam tuned the boost up with a smaller blower pulley, increasing boost from 19 psi to 25 psi. So we're impressed. Aeromotive have designed a single pump fuel system with a return line that's a complete drop-in. It's a super simple install, and to be honest, we couldn't have made more horsepower or boost without it. So adding a killer fuel system has now given us that potential. In the old days, it was simple, but today with fuel injection and returnless fuel system designs, it takes a company with the expertise and technology of Aeromotive to make it simple for hot rodders like us. And that is a beautiful thing.